welcome. I'm your host, Troy Hines, and this is another episode of Meta Hands Boxing. If you could be so kind, hit the like button, the bell icon, and follow us here on YouTube, as we're going to have some amazing upcoming shows, predictions, analyses, and fighter interviews. Let's get into it. We are 7 days away, folks, from the highly anticipated prize fight between unified IBF, WBA, and WBC welterweight world champion Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. when he faces off against WBO welterweight champion Terence "Bud" Crawford on July 29th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on Showtime pay-per-view. Let me start by saying that complex problems often have simple solutions. Everything is mathematics. And before we dive in, let's look at the tail of the tape. Height: Spence 5'9.5", Crawford 5'8", advantage Spence by 1 inch. Reach: Spence 72 inches, Crawford 74 inches, advantage Crawford by 2 inches. Stance: Spence southpaw, Crawford orthodox and southpaw, advantage Crawford. Age: Spence 33, Crawford 35, advantage Spence by 2 years. Professional record: Spence 28-0, Crawford 39-0, advantage Crawford with the experience. Knockout percentage: Spence 78.57%, Crawford 76.92%, advantage Spence by 1.65%. Let's get back into our math and move on to a few more categories, as size, speed, power, chin, and skill are significant. If you watch the media workouts, Ray Charles could see that Errol Spence is the bigger man, and he will be the bigger man on fight night. Say what you want, but size matters. No bullshit, and this will be the case of the bull versus the bull fighter, but will Crawford accept his role, or will he be bullied into thinking there's actually two bulls in the ring? One is the bull, one is the matador. If you play your role, you have a better chance of winning the fight. But we will have to wait and see. Size advantage goes to Spence. Speed. Speed is distance divided by time. How fast you can get from one spot to the other, or how fast a limb can reach out and touch the opponent. I think it's safe to say that the foot and hand speed quotient goes to Terence "Bud" Crawford. He can use his footwork to create angles. He's slick. He can switch. He's creative and has the faster hands. But mathematically, the fastest way from point A to point B is what? It's a straight line. And Bud tends to overarc his punches for increased velocity, while, in my opinion, Spence takes the smarter angles. Yet, and still, and in all fairness, the speed edge goes to the man from Omaha. Power. Power is mass times acceleration. Again, if you saw the media workout and you compare Spence hitting the heavy bag and Crawford hitting the heavy bag, it is obvious, in my opinion, that Spence has more power, and that's the truth, pun intended. He will weigh more than Bud on fight night, and that will prove significant as Errol begins digging the body. And pressure equals force divided by the area in which it is applied, or P equals F divided by A. In this example, the A would be the ring. I believe they will be fighting in a 24 by 24 ring. Good news for Crawford, but Spence's ability to cut off the ring in this fight will be critical. Let me say that again. Spence's ability to cut off the ring in this fight will be critical to victory. So we're not only talking about anticipation and foot placement, but the willingness to come forward. And even though we like to dumb it down, we know Errol can retreat in spurts if necessary with his favorite little jump back skip, which enables him to get out of range. But like the Terminator, once he resets, he's coming at you like Jason. Power and pressure goes to Spence. Chin. The chin edge goes to the man with the island roots. I don't know if it's the curried goat or the yellow yam, but only a yardie can get hit on the chin, smile, stop paying attention to his opponent in the middle of a fight, look for his teeth and mouthpiece on the ground, and I believe he was more stunned than anything else, but he ate that punch like a shit sandwich and went right back to beating the brakes off of Ugas. And although it wasn't ruled a knockdown, I think Kavaliauskas, I know I pronounced his name wrong. Let me say that again. Kavaliauskas, he should have gotten some credit. Kudos to Bud for getting his ass out of there regardless. But I think the memory that stings the most is when Yuriorkis Gamboa, a man that I've met many times. Shit, I watched his camp when I worked for ESPN at the Tampa Bay Fight Factory. I saw him getting ready to fight Orlando Salido. I saw Gamboa get in that ring and spar 4 guys, each one coming in fresh as they switched every 3 rounds for a 12-round sparring day. Gamboa was a bona fide superstar back then. All that. But all that being said, Gamboa is small. He's a lot smaller than Spence. And if Gamboa can rock Bud, he needs to make sure he protects himself at all times. The chin edge goes to Spence. Skill. The skill edge goes to Terence Bud Crawford. He's more complex, arguably more athletic. He's faster, etc. We know this. All that being said, on the street, if I can't beat you with my 1-2, a roundhouse, a stiff knee, or an elbow, and I gotta pull out the Bruce Lee backflip and shit, do you know what that means? It means I'm in trouble. So to recap, size, Spence. Speed, Crawford. Power, Spence. Chin, Spence. Skill, Crawford. In my opinion, basics are beautiful, and whoever masters them typically has some kind of mathematical advantage. How? The most beautiful equation in math is e raised to the power of pi times I plus 1 equals what? Equals 0. It's called Euler's identity. Intelligent black man on board. What is 0? 0 is the perfect number, the most basic. It is the foundational building block and represents the lack of everything, yet lacking nothing at the same time. I can have 1 million tricks up my sleeve, but if you times that by 0, it's 0. It's 0. It is the starting point from which all things are created, even boxing. That first day at the gym. The basics. I have wrestled with the thought of who I would pick as I think the world of Terence Bud Crawford. He is a dynamic young man. But I'll tell you when it all shifted for me. I don't like bullies. And when he tried to bully Errol Spence's trainer Derek James at one of the pressers, shouting at him, "What's up? What's up?" Trying to be a bully. We're going to see who the real bully is. And when I add up this equation and I factor in the fact that Bud is going to meet a real bull next Saturday night, that's why I'm picking Errol Spence Jr. by stoppage, somewhere between the 11th or 12th round, a war of attrition. We will see a beautiful display of boxing at the highest level next Saturday night. That's all I got. This is Troy Hines. This is Meta Hands Boxing. Stick and move.